Hello. Alright. I'm going to try doing less commentating today and just focusing on game dev. So one thing I was thinking about yesterday is like, how much does streaming actually slow down my development workflow? And then it was like, well, streaming doesn't really slow it down, it's talking. So I'm going to talk less today. I'm just going to develop, and I think I'm going to keep my cam off too, because maybe that affects it. We'll see. Man, I cannot resist commentating what I'm doing. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do like a big snake, or like I don't know how to describe, like a boss fight at the end of these crystal monsters. So it's gonna be like a crystal snake, and I'm deciding how I want to 3D model it. If I do skinning, then it'll be smooth, and I will need to add some sort of like the crystal. I'm basically thinking there's going to be like scales or like sharp segments going along, and it seems to make way more sense using a curve and then filling that in with a custom object, like making a maybe even literally just doing like a torus or something. But then that won't have an armature like the skinning does. But yeah, you know what? I can always make the armature myself. So screw it. Hello, KO2 fan. No cam today. No, I'm also gonna be trying to talk way less. I just said though, it's hard not to. I have a feeling it slows down my development time and makes things way slower. So that's going to be the custom object that we use to bevel our curve. Why can't I select the super toroid? Where? What? The super toroid is right here. Hello? Bezier curve? Maybe there's something I'm missing. Am I dumb? It's like, wait, what? There has to be something I'm missing about Blender. About why I can't select this. Oh, you have to use a curve. Oh my god, I literally don't understand how this works. Yeah, I literally don't understand how that works. Okay. So how would we make any sort of advanced shape out of the curve? There has to be a curve out of mesh segments. Add an array and have the array follow a curve. Man, if that works, why the hell didn't they just add that? I guess it's Blender. So we add an array. Apparently you can have this follow a curve, location, of rotation of another object, change between arrayed items. I don't know if that's, maybe it's fit curve, yeah. No, doesn't seem to be working. Array and a curve modifier. Okay, so use the array to just repeat the object. I wish I could apply little random jitters to these. I guess I probably could if I did this by hand. I should probably apply the... Yeah, I'll probably end up doing this by hand. And then apply to curve. Oh my god, it works. That's cool. That's cool. Oh yeah. There we go. So then apparently what you can do to turn a curve to an armature is I can convert the curve to vertices and then apply skinning to the vertices. And then the skinning modifier can generate an armature, and then that I can automatically set that armature to this, and it should generate weights appropriately. Alright, so now I think I just need to put like a head on here, do some like better modeling for the scales, or have them maybe have little bits of random rotation and stuff. Honestly, looking at this, there's no reason for me to put this in a curve. Even modeling it, I can just do this straight. Oh shit, we're disconnecting and dropping frames. It's all good now. Alright. So, kind of thinking, yeah, if we're dropping frames, this is actually a good day for me to just not to talk and just to like focus.
In this video, I want to show you how to convert the procedural displacement in your cycles shaders into real geometric displacement. So if we take this scene, for example, it comes from a recent course I did about generating procedural sand dunes. And we have the shader network on the left. And then down here, you can see that the geometry starts from a flat plane. However, if we look at the rendered view, that flat plane has become realistic sand dunes. And this kind of displaced geometry is only accessible at render time. We can't edit it as if it's a real model. But with the technique I'm about to show you, it can be converted with near perfect accuracy. But first I want to give a shout out to the CG Cookie member who discovered this technique. And it started in this thread with Emirqua, who baked out the displacement data into a regular image that achieved an okay displacement, as you can see on the right, but it's not exactly like the shader version. So there's a disconnect in the conversion. And the reason for this is that in the shader displaced version, the geometry is not only being pushed along the mesh normal, in other words, being pushed up for this flat plane, it actually is pushed out at an angle. But a regular image in the displacement modifier is not going to make this happen. And so Ian Johnson discovered a better method that results in near perfect accuracy that I'm showing you in this video. So thank you, Ian. I think a lot of people are going to find this useful. Okay, so back in Blender, the core idea of this technique
Shout out
is
to Ian
bake
Johnson.
out the displacement data, which is coming from this multiply node here. And in order to bake it out, I'm going to turn off our subdivision. We don't need that for this task, nor do I need it plugged into the displacement socket. Instead, let's just look at it by shift control clicking on it. And we can see that the data is mostly white. And the reason is because I'm multiplying the value by 15. If we take that down to 1, we get a much more clear idea of what the values look like and how they result in the sand dune shapes. However, I want this to be as accurate as possible, so I'm cranking it up to 15, which means we can no longer use 8-bit image data. As Ian discovered, we need to bake this data out using 32-bit float.
If this is going to bake,
baking process,
hello.
I need an image
If this is
texture
going to
bake
bake
to
to images,
add
this still
texture,
isn't going to work
image
for me.
texture.
I need to bake a
Let's
full
create a new
3D
one.
mesh because I'm
going to
doing
make sure that 32-bit is
I'm doing a
enabled.
full 3D mesh.
Since I want to maximize the accuracy of the
I swear to
displacement,
God, there
I'm going
has to
bake
be a
out
way to
very
bake
large
this.
Map, 8K, so 8192 by 8192. It means that the bake data will be pretty big. I'm expecting about 1 gigabyte for the single image. But again, it will ensure maximum accuracy. And I'm going to call this bake displacement, or just disp for short. Okay, let's create that image. And since this object started out as a plane, if I tab into edit mode, you can see that we already have the UVs laid out by default. But in order to bake, you do need UVs specified. Now that this is confirmed, I'm ready to bake.
Yeah,
now,
this guy is just baking to an image.
To
Shit, this still isn't what I need. I feel like there has to be a way to do this with some way. I mean, like, Blender has that data. I feel like this is really dangerous going on ArtStation like this. Like, it's just gonna put up some not safe for work shit. Or not safe for Twitch. Yep, and this is exporting as an image too. Yeah, I think this isn't possible. I'm just gonna need to edit it by hand. See, it's really annoying because you almost have deformation systems here, but it's just not like I don't know. I guess we'll try this. We'll try doing this displacement. Man, this is a good day to not do camera or mic because I'm just dropping frames. Interesting. So with noise, the modifier changes every single time we do it. Interesting.